was scrolling through and I see that I don't know if you guys can see this right quick. So hold on. Can you see? I don't know. So there's this popular I'm guessing Ethot. She's a quote unquote trad wife or whatever. Name's Kayla. She said she walked into my parents' house and my dad is watching the Fresh and Fit podcast on his TV. We talked about this, man. And there's a picture. She shows a picture of your trad wife. She posted this in 420, the 22nd, 2025. So this was obviously this year. Myron's underneath the comment section says, "Shut up, Thought." And Brian Atlas, the host of the Whatever podcast, he's laughing his ass off and he tagged Myron's name. It's so fucking funny, bro. Oh my god, this is so fucking funny. Anyways, let's get back to it.
And conservatives. And that was kind of the mission, was to say, no, the immovable standard is America first. I'm going to represent it, and the conservative movement is going to have to move to me. I will not move towards them. And I thought maybe I'll make money and maybe I won't, but I'm going to try it for a couple of years and I'll see how it goes.
So, but the sight picture in your head was enemy is conservative movement.
Yes.
Do you think that was a good choice?
Yes, absolutely.
Rather than why not Antifa or, I don't know, Anti-Defamation League, or there are a lot of institutions on George Soros. Why would it be their conservative establishment? Why do you think that was important?
Well, I kind of took a page from Trump's playbook, which is that you have to, in the country, the left was hegemonic over all the institutions. And you have this organized opposition to the left and the Democrats and all the left-wing controlled institutions. And the organized opposition comes from movement conservatism, the Republican Party, Fox News, the sort of constellation of conservative institutions. And I said, the problem is, whether you go Democrat or you go Republican, you're kind of just getting the same thing. You're getting the establishment effectively. The opposition is basically controlled or moderated. It's not authentic opposition. It's not a true alternative. And so I said, we, and by we, I mean the true America First nationalists, we need to fight for the mantle of the opposition. And then leading the opposition, then we can take the fight to the left as the conservatives, as the Republicans, whatever. But first, you have to win that internal battle among the audience that the conservatives have. Because that's really the problem, is that they have usurped. The base is extremely conservative, extremely anti-left. But the Republican Party, those that represent them, are not at all. A lot of them are atheists, a lot of them are gay, a lot of them are feminists. And so I said, we kind of need to rally, like Trump did, rally the base against the establishment, and then take the fight to the left as the true alternative. And if you can win that, then you win the country. That was kind of Trump's model.
What did you see as the most important gatekeepers that needed to be overturned, pushed aside in order to do this?
It was the Zionist Jews, like Dave Rubin, like Ben Shapiro, like Dennis Prager. It was these the guys that were really controlling the media apparatus that seemed to me to be the biggest impediment.
Fox is not a Jewish business, though.
Well, Rupert Murdoch is an ally of Netanyahu, so he's aligned.
Yeah,
and he owns the whole news.
That's kind of crazy. Tucker even said that. Rupert Murdoch and his the Murdoch clan, as I like to call them, the Murdoch clan. They're very they're very out there about they're not shy about hiding away from how much pro-Zionist they are. Literally, they love Benjamin Netanyahu. They love Israel. They're very much love being Zionist. As much as these hardcore Zionists are. You look at Ted Cruz that did an interview with Tucker Carlson. Like Tucker said, it was 10, 15 minutes into the interview, he already called him a anti-Semite because he asked him a question about that was pertaining to Israel. Of course, a lot of these types they're all these hardcore Zionists, They always try to have a dick measuring contest to see who's more hardcore Zionist than the other. It's pretty much a tie with me between who I think is more hardcore Zionist. That's not a Jewish person, of course, because there's no beating them if they're Jewish, because they're Jewish, then they're very much more Zionist, in my opinion, than a non-Jewish Zionist. So,
empire. So, and yeah, he's certainly a part of it also.
Dave Rubin, though, does he matter?
No, not really.
Right. Dave Rubin is I don't know. Do people watch Dave Rubin?
They did back then. Because you got to consider they were kind of like the ascendant new media. They represented the next big thing.
And Ben Shapiro seems irrelevant to me now.
But back then,
we gotta watch Dave Rubin. He had a debate with Pierce Morgan, and Pierce was cooking his ass. I'll react to that too as well. I'll probably react to that tomorrow. I'll do I'll record the video and me reacting to a couple of things, covering some news tomorrow for sure.
I guess that's true. Mm-hmm. So maybe you won.
Oh, certainly.
Well, it wasn't that long ago that many Americans thought they were inherently safe from the kinds of disasters you hear about all the time in third world countries. A total power. People in the dead of it would need power. What? It's even EM gasoline going day after you use one. That like three countries apply. I'll narrow it down to foreign policy. Okay, who is effectively opposing neoconservative foreign policy, which has been the dominant foreign policy of the United States for my entire life, which has been so destructive, I think, and I've seen it. Who are the voices who are sincere in their opposition to that and who have some ability to change the country's orientation on foreign policy? And those would include Marjorie Taylor Greene, J.D. Vance, Matt Gaetz.
I'm not a big fan of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, honestly speaking, that's just a feminist bitch in disguise. We're talking about her too as well tomorrow. I'll talk about her resignation. What's going to happen, her future, and I even get Nick's reaction on it too, because him and Marjorie actually knew each other. Where she claimed she didn't know Nick Fuentes, even though she spoke at his conference. And she said she did speak at it. She didn't know the conference that she was speaking at afterwards. It was kind of a weird cover up or whatever. Because CNN was frying the shit out of her when she went on there. So we'll cover that.
Me. But you've attacked all of those people.
Yeah.
Why would you, and almost Joe Kent, those strike me as someone who's really interested in this topic. I'm not that interested in the Jews, but I'm very interested in the foreign policy question. Those seem like the most sincere. Those seem like the only hope of the country to get away from this destructive, really self-destructive cycle. Why attack them?
Well, in short, they attacked me first.
Yeah, but who cares?
Well, let's take Joe Kent.
I mean, you attack me constantly.
Well,
and I'm like, I don't really give a shit. I want to meet the guy.
You attacked me first too.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm not whining about it. I'm just saying, so. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't say so because, take Joe Kent, for instance. I supported Joe Kent, and I talked to Joe Kent. I got introduced to him by Matt Brainerd. Matt Brainerd went to my conference in 2021. He bought a table.
Was he his campaign manager?
He was.
Okay.
Or he was a consultant, but he was on the campaign, yeah. And so I met Matt Brainerd. He liked me a lot. He loved my conference in February 21, which he bought a table at for his organization, Look At America. And in 2021, and by we, I mean my nonprofit and myself and my team, we wanted to support America First candidates in the midterms, like you said, authentic opponents.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's how I found Joe Kent.
Yes. And so I met a lot of the people in that sort of scene, like Ryan Gerdusky, I know is very supportive of Joe Kent, and other people that are more private, I don't want to name, but they put me on, not just to Joe Kent, but Patrick Witt in Georgia, Gibbs in Michigan, a lot of different people. And Joe Kent was one of them. And I had a phone call with Joe Kent. And I told him, I have my assistant on the phone too, who's Jewish, by the way, just because I want you to know I'm cool like that. I don't judge. But so I'm on the phone with Joe, and I said, look, we support you, and we want to do everything we can to help you.